today we're going to be talking about how to get to your revenue target, how to get to your revenue goal 3 times faster. I got this concept that I'm going to share today. I didn't come up with it. I want to just be very clear. I did not come up with this concept. I don't want to try and take credit for it. I didn't come up with it, but I have just been obsessed with it since I heard it. And I want you guys to know that I want to share it with you. Okay. So first and foremost, you guys know by this point, I do not like to present ideas or concepts to you that I haven't already tried and proved that they undeniably work. So I will never just hear something and say, hey, check this out. This is a cool idea. You should try it. I will hear it. I will try it, put it into practice in my business, in my life, into my schedule. I will see how it works. And then if it works, I will then recommend it. If it doesn't work, I may tell you that, hey, this isn't worth your time. Okay. So what I'm going to share with you today is something that I have implemented. I'm still implementing, but it's so good. I don't want to wait too long to share it with you guys because you guys can benefit so much from this if you would literally start today. Okay. So the concept I'm going to introduce you guys today is actually a concept I learned from Ed Milet. The point is, he's like, who decided that 9 is when you start and 5 is when you finish? Okay. Also, he said, who decided there's only 5 work days in a week? Who determined that that's a work day, that 9 to 5 is a work day and you can only get 5? Who? You tell me, right? And it's like, so guys, we're following. Why are we following a system that was created by somebody who isn't us, who doesn't know our situation, who doesn't know what's best for us, who doesn't have our goals, who doesn't give a shit about us, right? Instead of creating what works for us and not giving a hoot about anybody else, why do we just follow these things? That's what I want to start off with. And this is the concept that he started by saying, who said that a 9 to 5 is a work day, and who said there's only 5 work days in a work week? So here's the concept is, how do we get more work days out of a work week? That's interesting, right? How do we get more work days out of a work week? We can't really create more time. We can't make the 24 hours into, we can't add hours. There's a certain amount of actual time. But how do we make more work days out of the same week? And how do we get more done inside of those work days? Okay. So here's the way he explained it. It was so perfect. So he described it like this. And he said, when you are running a marathon, 26.2 miles. Okay. When you're running a marathon, I've never ran a full marathon. I ran a half marathon. But when you're running, let's just say a long distance, you are not going to just go out the gate unless you're that guy is he from Kenya? That just, I swear to you, that dude looks like he's just, that guy doesn't even sweat, dude. That guy is a machine. Apart from that guy, okay? When I'm running a long distance, anything above like 100 yards, I'm pacing myself, man. I'm not just going to sprint because I'm going to die. And I know myself, I'm going to just die. So when you're running a long distance, you pace yourself, you jog, because you know that you're going to need a lot in the tank to get you to the end of the race, right? But when you are running 100-meter dash, you sprint because you know it's not that long. And you know the pain's not going to be that bad because at the end of it, you're going to get a little break and you're going to be okay because it's not that bad. You can see the end because it's right there. And the point is, and the second part of that, and this is a part that I've kind of added just a little bit, but also there's this concept of Parkinson's law, and Parkinson's law is real. And per the actual definition, Parkinson's law is the idea that work expands to fill the time allotted for its completion, right? So we have the whole semester to get done the term paper. We do nothing, and somehow we finish it the 6 hours before it's due. Right? We had all semester and we didn't do anything. And in 6 hours, we were able to smack this thing out, right? That's Parkinson's law. So those are kind of the two things that he's talking about. And essentially what it is like, what if we created shorter sprints instead of this long marathon? And when you have shorter sprints, when you have that 100-yard dash, you could sprint because you could see the end. And you don't have to pace yourself. You can go all out for those 100 yards, and then you take a break, and you're going to live. And you could do another 100 yards, and you take a break, and you're going to live. And so basically the concept is these mini days. It's these mini days that we turn our week, instead of being 9 to 5s, we actually turn it into mini days. Okay. By the way, I've listened to this podcast twice. It's phenomenal. And I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm just giving you guys like the overview. So how do we do this and how do we take this knowledge, these two things I talked about, which is when you're running a sprint, you sprint. When you're running 100 meters, you sprint, and Parkinson's law. Well, what we do is we take the 5-day work week and we turn it into 21 mini days. Okay. Now we're like, what the heck are you talking about? I'm going to explain. Here's how we break it down. Okay. Day one, and guys, I've been doing this and I have gotten so much done. It's like, it's scary it's exciting. You could probably tell by my energy. I'm super excited. It's like, it's insane. And it kind of reminds me of like the whole Kobe concept of getting an extra workout, which I'll talk about in a second. So here's how it works is day one starts at 6 a.m. and goes to 12 p.m. Okay. That's day one. You have 6 hours to get, it's day one. It's your first day. How do you get everything that you need to get done inside of that 6 hours? And you are sprinting and you are going and you are doing and you are taking action. And one of the things he talks about in the podcast, he's like, people that like most of the people he knows that are successful, they are in a hurry. That doesn't mean they rush and do crappy work. It means they are in a hurry. They talk faster, they move faster, they walk faster. They are in a hurry because they understand they have things to do. Day one, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Boom. Day two, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And day three, 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. And then obviously we need sleep, right? At least I do. So, and I'm going to explain to you guys how I've personally been breaking this down because, how do you allot your time? How do you fit in personal? I'm going to explain how I do it and how it's been ultra productive for me. Okay, so let me repeat that. Day one, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Day two, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Day three, 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. Okay, 3 days instead of one working day. So we've got 3 days now, and we times it by 5, or I guess, sorry, we times it by 7. We're at 21 days, 21 total days. Okay, instead of 5 9 to 5s, we have 21 potential days. Now, if you don't work weekends, obviously you're going to go 5 times 3. It's 15 instead of 5, but you're getting 3 times as much time and getting to your goal 3 times faster. If this is the whole thing, and this isn't the topic of today, but if you're doing things that actually move the needle, if you're actually doing work, not just busy work, which I'm going to get to in a second. Okay. But dude, here's the thing that I've realized, because I've been doing this. I started doing this is when you are doing this, when you have 6 hours and at noon, my day one is finished. You are literally sprinting. You are, and again, I'm going to get into my exact execution, which you guys can take and tweak, but you are sprinting. You are trying to figure out how can I get as much done as possible, because I have specific things I want to get done each and every day. And I've only got 6 hours to do it. I'm going to get a break and then I'm going to have another 6 hours. But you are just on your game the whole time. And it is insane what you can get done. Okay. And you can see the end because you're like, hey, it's already 10 o'clock. I have 2 hours and my first day is already over. Then I'm going to have a break. At least that's how I do it. And then I'm going to have another day. And you're just going, you're sprinting and you're doing. Okay. So my experience, I listened to this podcast. I think it was like a Saturday. And I was like, I'm going to do this on Monday. This is like a couple weeks ago. Right. And the guys, I did it on a Monday, and I am telling you, I got so much done. I moved my needle. Literally, I remember thinking this. I moved my needle more in one day, in that Monday, than I had in the previous week, possibly the previous 2 weeks prior to that. I got more actual work done in Monday than I did the previous 2 weeks. I remember at the end of the day, I was like, that was ridiculous. If I could do that twice a week, I would be so far ahead, just twice a week. And imagine if I was able to do that every single day, 5 days a week. And imagine I spent one of my Saturdays plus those 5 and it was just like this mind-bending thing. Okay. So here's how I set up my day. You don't have to do it like this. You don't even have to do what I'm suggesting. I'm just telling you, if you want to get to your goal 3 times faster because you feel like you got a lot you want to do on this earth before you die, and that we all know people that go way quicker than they should have, then maybe this ought to be for you. Okay. Here's how I set up my day. Is day one, which is my 6 a.m. to 12. And again, this is how I set it up right now. And I'm not perfect at this. I still fail. I still, haven't woke up every single time at the right time. I'm still a work in progress, but I'm getting better, and it's exciting. Okay. So 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. is day one. Well, here's what I do is because that's when I have my most energy, because that's when I'm the clearest, the freshest, whatever. That is when I'm doing my low urgency, but most needle moving work. Low urgency, but most needle moving work. What I mean by low urgency, it's not, if it doesn't get done, you're not going to die. But if it doesn't get done, you're not going to hit your goals. That's what I mean. It's the most important work. It has to be done. It's the on the business stuff, not the in the business stuff. Okay. This is the most important work that drives the business forward. This is building the company or working on the business. So that's what I'm doing during the 6 to 12 p.m. time frame. Why is it so nice? Because at that time, and I would highly recommend you guys do this, shut off your freaking phone, turn off your notifications. This is working on your business. You cannot be bothered during this time. This is like you're actually working on your business. And then day two, we can work in the business. We can actually we can run the business, right? So this is the time that we're making those like high level decisions, like the almost like the board of director or the CEO stuff. And then day two, moving to day two, which is 12 to 6, that is the manager style work. That's running the company or working in the business. So this is the time for me. Well, let me go back. Day one, the kind of the stuff that I've been doing is that's where I'm thinking of high level strategy. How do I get a new acquisition channel, right? How can I get more leads into my business? How can I make my content such that it's going to attract the right type of customer, right? How can I produce content uninterrupted and produce content? How can I, sometimes I'll sit and I'll review my quarterly goals or my objectives. This is stuff that I'm using my head, and it sounds funny, but this is the most tiring work ever. This is the most exhausting, energy sucking work. And I wouldn't even say energy sucking. It drains you, but it also, it motivates me at least. Okay. This is the stuff that, like, if you don't get this stuff done, you're not going to feel it today, but you're never going to hit your goal. You're never going to get to the goal that you set. Okay. Again, that's 6 to 12. Day two, 12 to 6. This is where you're going to do all the stuff that you guys probably spend your time doing, responding to emails, talking to customers, making sure the website's this, making sure that, paying this invoice, approving this, talking to your VA, doing team meetings. All of those things are manager style work. That is working in the business. You are actually running the company. You're the operator, right? So it's kind of like you're the executive officer, and then the operator day two, right? So for me, that is when so basically what I've been doing while I've been in Dubai, day one, 6 to 12 is phones off. And how I do it is I do 90-minute blocks. So I've got 6 hours, right? So I've got 4 90-minute blocks. But what I do inside of that is I don't go 90 straight minutes. I do 30 minutes. I set a 30-minute timer. I have a 90-minute block, and I'm working on one specific thing. And then I set a 30-minute timer, and I turn off my phone, and I'm 30 minutes, just boom, laser focused. When the 30 minutes goes off, I set a 5-minute timer. I take a 5-minute break. I walk around. Maybe I'll do push-ups. Maybe I get a drink of water. Maybe I'll go pee. Maybe I'll get a quick snack. And then within 5 minutes, I'm back in 30 more minutes. Same thing. Timer goes off, 5 minutes, whatever I need to do, stretch, boom. And then boom, 30 more minutes. I'm doing it. That's my 90-minute block. Now, after the 90-minute block, I'm going to take a 15-minute break to kind of like reset my mind. And that's what I've been doing. So I've been doing 4 of those. It actually ends up being like 3.5. So it's usually like 90 minutes, 15-minute break, 90 minutes, 15-minute break, 90 minutes, 15-minute break, and then whatever time's left, an hour or 45 minutes, and then it's 12. Okay. Boom. And I've gotten so much stuff done. Like today I did this, guys. I got so much stuff done that normally I save for the end of the day in that 1 hour, and then somebody calls me and I don't get to it. Okay. That's day one. Day two for me is I immediately jump on. I respond to my Slack. I respond to my team. I'm getting on Zoom with my assistants, with my executive assistant, with the internal team members, with our ads team, with Kyle. I'm talking with a lot of the team members. I'm responding to stuff. I'm checking out emails. I'm tweaking this. I'm tweaking that. I'm approving this. I'm making sure that so-and-so's paying this invoice. I am running the business from 12 to 6. Okay. 12 to 6. Okay. Day two. Think about how much more opportunity you have to get stuff done within that if you break this up, guys. If I'm doing, let's just say, an extra, let's just consider. So let's say that I don't do weekends. So let's just say that my potential days are 21 instead of 5. And let's just say that last, chunk, that last 6 to 12, I only do personal stuff. So I'm getting basically, I'm getting double the days, right? You're getting you're getting a 9 to 5, and I'm getting a 6 to 12 and a 12 to 6. Like, I'm going to get to my goal twice as fast. That's if I don't work weekends. That's if I don't work and do anything business related in the evenings. Okay. I get twice as many days as you. It's crazy, right? And it sounds so stupid. And I know some of you guys, maybe it's not clicking with you yet. Maybe it's the way that I'm saying it. And maybe when you listen to him say it, it will make more sense. And so I apologize, because it's not my concept, it's his, but it really blew my mind.